are available today, and obviously that's how those who have achieved metal status have gotten there. Our training takes on an approach of continual learning. So instead of taking the same course every second year, retesting, we want to have a fundamental and baseline of education they need, and then we keep building on it year after year, product after product, new solution after new solution, and that's how we'll introduce that technology into the market. Today, that isn't a requirement to have your UC and CC, but I would say within the next 12 months, as we continually raise the bar in the training required, we'll change the certification requirements. So safely said, a year from now, any partner that has UC and CC will have to understand our engagement platform technology to achieve that.
Great, thanks. So I said it's not a shy group, and I don't see any hands.
Well, thank you for joining
us.
1:30.
Thanks, Blair.
So I wrote a blog after the San Jose or Santa Clara event saying, I love what I'm hearing about engagement and about outcomes and all that stuff. I went back through my notes and I found a blog I wrote in 2008 saying, wow, they're talking about selling solutions and business outcomes, and isn't this wonderful? So what's different between 2008 and now, and how can you prove to the analysts and to your partners that things are different and that you really are going to move in this direction?
Well, for one, it's hard to talk about 7 years ago statements, so it's difficult to comment and compare. And obviously, actions speak larger than words. So when we look at what our strategy has been over the last 2 years or so, moving to an open global collaboration platform from a development standpoint, what Gary Barnett put out and presented, aligning our technologies in that way, much more than words around engaged platforms, etc., but moving into a world of much more application enablement, workflow management, demonstrating through our capabilities that a lot of the things that we're talking about are actually deliverable today, that the outcomes are related to applications, related to distinct ROI models at a customer level, and value to a customer. I think that's kind of point number one. So versus words, look at what we are bringing to market today, the examples, the customer examples, and that would be the first way I would answer that, right? To qualify versus just words of 2008 versus today. And then building on that, not just the capabilities that we're bringing to specific customers with examples and use cases, but also through the partnerships that you're seeing. I think one of the key things that we're sitting in our little ready rooms, we really want to make sure that we're making visible a lot of the partnerships that we've established, just like what was announced this morning with Joe. And those announcements, those big friend relationships are very important to our customers. They're what they want to see. When we talk about an open platform, it's not open as long as it's all Avaya. It's open as long as it's truly open, truly integrates their capacity to deliver their business outcomes with the mix of people that they need to work with as their partners, not just Avaya. So these partnerships are very key in demonstrating that also in terms of outcomes. And I think you gave some really cool examples this morning up on stage, and we continue to do that. But I think that's probably the key difference. And I'll stop there for a second. But the amount of clients that we are engaging with, the amount of customers and partners that we're engaging with in what we are talking about in terms of cloud, outcomes-based engagements, and what I refer to as the now versus the if and when. That now is demonstrated through those. And Joe, maybe you've got some examples of things, specifically the partnerships that you like to.
Yeah, it was interesting actually. After my presentation, one of the partners, small partner in San Diego, says, "Hey, this is cool. I get the BT thing, I get the HP thing. I'm a partner that does $6 million a year with you. How do I play in this? How do I participate in this party that you're talking about, this cloud party?" And so she talked about a customer who had 2,000 contact center seats, and they don't have the money, the capex, they feel overwhelmed with taking that first step of contact center transformation. And so what they really wanted to get from us is, how can you help me have that discussion? So it actually turned into an outcomes example there, where we basically said, hey, talk to them about where they want to be in 5 years, and then talk to them about the destination. And I think that the two main differences between 2008 and now is, for one, the market is pulling us. I mean, there's a difference between saying I'm trying to create something. The market is definitely pulling us. Contact center transformation from voice to omnichannel is the force, the main force that's forcing the line. We've seen it in APCS with large enterprise and globals. And the call to action to the partner community is, hey, it's happening in these smaller contact centers as well. And by the way, 2,000 seats is not a small contact center. So we're seeing that dialogue happening organically, right? Because the market is absolutely driving.
So just to conclude, I think we can give you more examples of it. A lot of organizations, not just us, talk about outcomes-based relationships, value-based relationships, and developing more of a structure of an open platform. And as Joe pointed out, that is where the market has taken us, not where we've taken the market. But it's going dramatically fast. The fact that we are the key market shareholder in contact center, and especially in larger contact centers, over 1,000 agents with 70% share. The fact that we still have a very strong presence on the infrastructure level, and then leveraging that into the application level becomes a much more natural fit for us now. And it's just the key strategic element. And I think the key to it also is that versus just words or marketing terms that we would have said at that time, this is key to our survival, but to our to us becoming even more prosperous moving forward. For us to do this transition, to move this transition to value-based outcomes and focus on our clients. So it's more than just words, I think, at this stage. It really is our company strategy. It's what we've tried to put forward by showing you everything from our revenue streams to our product development strategies to the engagements and the real partnerships we run.
Thanks, guys. Dave, while I'm right here.
Thank you. Trying to engage in your exciting new terminology. What is a mobile hospitality environment or a cloud-enabled stadium? What is that?
Yeah, yes. Thank you.
Check it.
So what that enables is, let's talk about the stadium for a second. So we have got some amazing things planned to further engage the fans in the audience with the game that is actually going on. So for example, we have something we call a fan engagement wall, and we're going to be putting up 3 of those at the Avaya Stadium. And that wall is going to have live social media coming, streaming onto it, as well as places for our content. We can show our videos. I can show the AVA video, and then we can also have a spot on that for partners. So we may make part of that real estate available for partners. So this fan engagement wall will represent an interactive, partially interactive with the fans, as well as partially sort of talking at them. So that's part of it. Part of what there's also going to be a really cool app that we're developing for fan engagement. All of this is possible because of the cloud stuff. And as it relates to a mobile hospitality environment or a mobile learning environment or whatever kind of mobile environment you've got, it's different in every case, which is why the engagement development platform is such an important part of our strategy. That is the foundation. I call it the proliferation engine of the company, actually, because it enables companies to do whatever they want to do from a workflow perspective or a business app perspective. They create their own kind of workflow. So everyone's different.
And doesn't the application side, talk a little bit about that, the application side, doesn't that naturally draw us into industry solutions? Isn't that
Yeah.
what's driving healthcare?
Yeah, absolutely. The proliferation of apps is totally making that much more important to us. And again, having apps that the companies can create, the healthcare companies can create themselves on top of our platform, enables them to create whatever kind of an engagement environment they are looking to create.
Well, I guess the press release says specifically that it's the first cloud-enabled stadium to be built. I don't understand what that means, cloud-enabled. Everything you're describing pertains to all of your solutions. So.
Yeah, so above and beyond the apps that we're developing for the fan experience, we're providing network infrastructure, the Wi-Fi access points for the fans when they're there. The offices for the earthquakes is actually located at the stadium, so they're actually using our team engagement platform as a service as well. And then we're also going to be incorporating Avaya Live Video, which is our new cloud offer. If you can, this one is still being developed and baked, but if you imagine the player of the game at the end of the earthquakes, the players each get an iPad, and they can, over Scopia, connect with their families in Colombia, and we'll show them up on the scoreboard at Avaya Live Stadium. Let's get a couple of use cases that we're developing. So Avaya Live Video is being hosted in our cloud environment, and we're enabling the cloud stadium, so to speak, delivering these apps, these video apps, these team engagement apps, these fan experience apps, and they're basically being hosted in some way, shape, or form in a cloud infrastructure.
Thanks. I think someone over here has a question.
Hi. Well, first I wanted to say that I think, in the last year you guys have done a lot for the partners to, I think, make them a little more satisfied with their relationship with Avaya. And so kudos for that, because I think that took a lot of work, and I think there's still stuff to do, as we all know, but this is a kind of a stepwise approach. Just around cloud again, though, with the fact that we really want the partners engaged in cloud, we want them to have a certain percentage or ratio of their revenue driving towards cloud. I know you said either 30%, which I know is a bit of a goal for the partners to say, get yourselves moving. But in terms of the program and the relationship and the status, etc., does it make sense to have cloud, and are you going to do this, have cloud as a requirement of status in the program, and then look at driving quota within your own sales reps around cloud for partners? Because I think that's an important aspect of getting them engaged as well.
Sure, I'll take that and then perhaps pass it to Joe. So, during Joe's presentation and mine, we use two terms, which is Avaya branded cloud and Avaya powered cloud. Clearly, the powered is targeted at the partner community who want to stand up their own offerings. And we've said, that's not necessarily going to be right for every partner. There's clearly a capital investment, there's an expertise and an infrastructure that they're going to need to have. So it's not going to work for everyone. But for those that absolutely want to stand up their own, we're more than equipped to help them do that in a very rapid fashion. Again,